What's good, 007s? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about two of the biggest communities in the manosphere right now. And basically, each side thinks they're right. And I'm just going to give kind of my opinion on it. But please let me know in the comments, what is your opinion? Because I'm always open to learning and changing, but I just give my experiences, right? So basically, the first community is the Looksmaxxing community, and the second community would be the gym community or gym maxing or maybe red pill, however you want to categorize them. I have basically learned some ideologies from both groups, and I've kind of incorporated them or implemented them into my own life to help me become a better man just in general. But basically, the argument is, what is more important? Is it your face or your face card, as people say now, or is it the physique? Now, mind you, I've had a terrible face card where no women like me. I've had a better face card like I have now, where I do mainly attract the women I want. I've been fat for a majority of my life, but now I'm decently lean. I'm still on a cut right now, but I would say I'm probably like 16-15% body fat, so I'm definitely leaning down. But yeah, so I'll just talk about my experiences and then talk about what I think is basically what you should go for. So basically, let's talk about the looks maxing or the face card part of it. So the first thing women see when they see you is your face. A lot of guys like to say, oh, they see the broad shoulders. Like, let's be honest for a second here. You could be ripped to the gill. If your face is just awful, you're not going to get anything. Now, if you have an average face, you can get away with it. But if your face is absolutely horrendous, you're done for. So, do I think that guys need to work on skincare? They need to work on, taking care of their facial hair and grooming themselves and things like that? Yes, I think that makes a huge difference. It made a major difference for me. If you look at my thumbnails and my old videos, you will see like I've definitely come a long way from where I was. But yeah, like you definitely want to focus on these things because it makes a huge difference. The face is really the first thing they see, your face, your smile, and make sure your teeth are good and things like that. So I definitely think that the looks maxing community has a valid point. Now let's go to the gym community. So I grew up basically very obese. Like I remember there was a time where I was probably in third or fourth grade and I was already 200 pounds. Like I always wore husky stuff. Always had to like get certain things tailored and altered because I was so short yet I was so big. And honestly, that was one of the most difficult times of my life. Now being obese, I can't really speak on being super skinny because I always had like a decent frame, so I've never been super skinny, but I was talking about being overweight. Being overweight is really just depressing. At least for me, it was. I don't know how people walk around overweight every single day for years on end, never trying to do anything. Like, it's different if you're trying, but if you're just okay with just, eating whatever, drinking whatever, not taking care of yourself, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, especially in your dating life, because we are in the generation where women are saying dad bods are attractive. But take it from me, from a guy who had a dad bod and a guy who had a body that is in much better shape, the much better shaped body wins every time. When I had a dad bod, I never had a woman tell me my physique turned her on, or she was really in a hurry to sleep with me. It was actually the opposite. My first couple of relationships, I was very out of shape, and sex was a huge problem, especially at a young age. Like in your early 20s, I don't think that sex should be a major problem unless in a relationship, unless there's like health issues. But you start seeing that when women get older and their bodies go through change and things like that. But I went through a relationship where I was out of shape, wasn't taking care of myself physically, and the girl was rarely ever sleeping with me. But then once we broke up, she was out there just giving it to everybody, So it's just one of those things where, yes, it will help you a lot with that physical desire, because if you have a nice body, women are ready to show you off. Women are ready to, some women are ready to get physical with you and things like that, that I've noticed much quicker. And you just get a lot more compliments and a lot more validation. But like I said, being overweight, besides women, it's just you doing yourself a disservice. Like, you're not going to move as good. You're not going to be as healthy. Your quality of living isn't going to be that great. Like me, whenever I'm heavy, I have a hard time breathing. Like, I'll just be standing still, breathing heavy, just down bad, down horrendous. But what do I think is more important, since I've kind of given you guys some of my experiences? I would honestly say, and I know a lot of you guys are going to think I'm going to say the face card. I'm going to say they're both equally as important, and I'll explain why. The reason they're both equally as important is you can't have a great face being out of shape. Like, I know people can say, well, yeah, there's some heavier guys that are attractive. Okay, yes, but they would be that much more attractive if they lost weight, because you never really truly see what you look like until you lean down. Like for me, I was well over 20% body fat. I didn't really start looking how I look now until I got down to like 18% body fat. And a lot of guys say 10 to 12, 10 to 14%. That's when you really see how you look, which I'm not that lean yet. But I will say my face just looks a whole lot more put together. Whenever my face was bigger, or more bloated and had all the excess fat on it, I didn't look anything how I look now. I look like a completely different person. Sometimes people will see me, they won't believe it's me. So I definitely think both are important, because I've always like done skincare and things like that, but I didn't notice until I started like focusing more on my body that, you know, my frame just got better, my face got better, my jaw looked better, everything just looked better to me 100,000% once I started losing weight, and even my skin cleared up because I was having a lot of junk in my diet. A lot of people think it's all about the skincare and things like that, but your diet, eating processed foods and eating a bunch of sugars and bad chemicals, that will mess up your face and your body. So I really think it's a package deal, because the guy who has the nice physique and the nice face wins every time. And you don't have to be super shredded. A lot of people think you got to be like a bodybuilder, get to this crazy low body fat percentage. No, my rule of thumb has always been, I just don't want rolls, or I don't want my stomach going over my belt line. Like that's my main concern. And I think that's good enough for most women, because guess what? Most guys don't have that physique. A lot of guys think that, oh, on TikTok, I seen this guy, he had an 8-pack, he had this and that. You're seeing a very small percentage of the population. If you go to your local grocery store and look around at the average guy, most guys are completely out of shape. They're not taking care of their bodies whatsoever, and their face card is nothing to talk about either. Like, you hear women complaining all the time, oh, there's a shortage of attractive men. And it's not because most guys are naturally unattractive. It's just most guys don't care. They'd rather go play a video game and drink a beer. They'd rather go get fast food. I understand it's convenient, it's easier. Go and hang out with friends and drinking and doing all this other stuff. Like, yes, it's fun, and I indulge in it sometimes. But there just has to be a balance. There has to be a limit. And like I said, the whole dad bod thing, guys, listen. Let women say what they want to say, but just pay attention to how they react. If you look at the top celebrities and things, because we have celebrities of all shapes and sizes, the top male celebrities, many of them are not overweight. Most of them have nice face cards. So if you're seeing what works, you're seeing what women genuinely flock to, then why not abuse the method? Why not have both? I don't understand why we have to separate these two things, because the guys who are really winning physically, those are the guys who are adopting, yes, my face needs to be on point, and yes, my body needs to be on point. You need to be a two-sided weapon for sure. But yeah, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think is more important. Do you think it's your face? Do you think it's your body? What do you think is more important to you guys?